Yes, Bongani, lack of safety at public schools was in the spotlight at the memorial service of a grade 1 learner today who was stabbed multiple times at a school in Makapanstad near Hammanskraal. It was alleged that the 7-year-old Shelton Karuweruwe was stabbed by a grade 11 learner, a much older teenager who earlier had a fallout with Karuweruwe's elder sister.
The fatal stabbing of Shelton Karuweruwe over a week ago left the Makapanstad community in shock. Many were left asking what the young learner could have done to deserve such a brutal death.
He received or obtained 95% in Setswana, which is not his language since he's from Zimbabwe, 100% in mathematics, 85% in the which is life skills. So indeed, he was a very brave boy, intellectually speaking.
It is alleged that the suspect slept inside the toilet overnight and ambushed young Karuweruwe when he went to relieve himself. These toilets are where the young Shelton Karuweruwe met his untimely death. Teachers Union SATU says this wouldn't be the case if the Provincial Education Department prioritized security at their schools.
For too long we have been engaging with the department about security measures. Look, we appreciate the little that they have done thus far, but the little is not enough.
The family felt consoled by the overwhelming support.
The department has given us a lot of support, and everybody around, all South Africa, all the world has given us support.
Shelton's body will be repatriated to Zimbabwe on Friday and he will be buried on Saturday. Ofentse Setimo, SABC News, Makapanstad.
Speak to Ofentse Setimo, who's been on that story. Ofentse, I'm sure it was just so incredibly sad today, such a senseless, brutal, crazy murder.
Yes, absolutely, Francis. Thank you very much. It was absolutely somber today at Makapanstad, particularly Makapanstad Primary School, where the local community actually came out in their numbers to actually show solidarity to the parents of the late Shelton Karuweruwe, who's actually of Zimbabwean nationality, but was actually studying in South Africa, and his family was residing in South Africa. So a lot of people actually came in to show solidarity and support, and they were also very pleased that the perpetrator of this horrendous crime has been apprehended.
So what is the situation now? He's been apprehended. When will there be a court appearance? Are any of those details known?
Oh, he has appeared in the Moretele Magistrate Court, and the case was postponed. It was postponed so that he can stay in the juvenile center, so they can verify where he stays, his residence, and if he has an ID and the likes.
I can imagine that the parents, the family of this little boy are infuriated.
Yes, the family was totally infuriated. The father could not even contain himself, the way he was so emotional. He was only responding to journalist questions with, say, one-word response, So he was quite emotional. But what he actually mentioned was the funeral arrangements for the 7-year-old, saying tomorrow he will be repatriated to his home country of Zimbabwe, and he will be buried the following day.
Were there educational officials from the school, a lot of questions about how this was allowed to happen, a brutal murder in the toilets, a young little boy killed on school property?
Yes, the teacher union SATU was actually there, and they were totally infuriated because they say they had raised the matter with the provincial department, the Northwest Education Provincial Department, to say that there's been a lot of incidents where teachers are actually intimidated, where learners actually take out weapons, in a fight at the school premises. So saying safety is totally compromised, but that was not one of the top priorities by the provincial department.
All right, a truly horrible case. We'll keep on following that. That was SABC reporter Ofentse Setimo.